We all know that FPS affects movement in Destiny 2, but does anyone actually know how much? This question arose a couple of weeks ago when we were having a discussion in the SRC Discord about a merge between console and PC leaderboards. I had never truly tested this for myself, so in this video, I will show you all the tests I ran and we can see how FPS actually affects movement in Destiny 2. First, I did a basic sword swipe test. I stood in the same spot, looked roughly in the same direction, and sword swiped at around the same time in the air for each test. As you can see in the background footage, the difference between a 30 FPS sword swipe and a 100 FPS sword swipe is quite a lot. Next, I turned to Sparrows. I had seen a video a while back detailing that gravity was affected by FPS, and having used Sparrows for so long, I just had to see if it was true. For this test, I started in the same position and tried to fly as high as I could. As you can see, with lower frames, you go a lot higher. This effect is less noticeable with slipstreaming, but it is still there. Next, with the effect FPS has on gravity, I looked into jumping since it's one of the most used actions in the game. For this test, I stood in the same position and tried double tapping space as fast as possible. I did this test a ton of times since there's a lot of human error involved. It looks like jumping does go higher with 30 frames, but only ever so slightly. And we can't talk about frames without mentioning dash bug, where if you spam dash too quickly, your game bugs out and will not let you dash for 5 seconds. This only happens with frames over about 80. Finally, here is a list of other tests that I did where FPS had little to no noticeable effect. In conclusion, there are many other tests that I could have done, but I think the consensus is pretty clear. FPS does have a massive effect on movement in Destiny 2. If you don't believe me for any of these tests, try them out for yourself. If you find I made a mistake or if you have another test that had noticeable effects, leave a comment down below. These tests made me look at the game in a new sense, seeing the frames have an impact on so much of my gameplay. I will let you form your own opinion on whether this is a good or a bad thing in a game like this. And with that being said, I'll see you next time.